Hello, my sumo peeps. Halby once again here with you. I thought I'd do another challenge. One of my favorite things to do is things that are grungy, and I always seem to get asked when I do like a textured background or something textured. And inevitably, people ask, "How do I do it?" And you know how I feel about that. It's like figure it out yourself. But obviously, I've had a little bit of help from tutorials I've watched for Photoshop and GIMP on YouTube. So I'll give you a pretty simple way to do it, and it's fun. I like doing it, so I'm assuming you will too. It'll be fun to see what you guys come up with. So first, we start off with a white layer. We create a clear layer. Obviously, we just push the little create add new layer button right there. Then we select our paintbrush tool, reduce the opacity to 17%. I mean, you can if we go 20, it's not going to hurt anything. Flow to 20 something percent. Diameter, let's bump it up. Let's make it kind of big, and let's choose one of these sort of chalky type brushes. Now, see when I oh, and I forgot to mention, I do gravity, scattering, random rotate, and I put my spacing all the way apart. And the reason for that is I want it to appear random. So first we kind of just move it around and sort of. It doesn't seem to be randomly rotating because I chose scatter, so I'm going to try another way here. Still doesn't. So let's rotate it a little bit. Nothing ever goes as I plan here, so just work with it. So you're just sort of getting a background that's sort of weird, and we'll choose another brush here, kind of a weird brush. And it's sort of like we did slate, kind of just roughing it up, making it thicker in some areas and weaker in others. You can sort of see something sort of forming, but you want it to be pretty indiscreet. Let's choose, say, this guy here. And we'll rotate the brush again. And I like kind of throwing a little bit of heavy spot in here, different places. Okay, so then let's create another layer here. And what we'll do for this layer is choose our pencil tool. Is that the pencil tool? Yes. Take our diameter down to 1 pixel. That's good. Take opacity down to, I can even go lower than that. Let's say 10%. And actually, let's do the line tool. Go 15. Let's go 10%. Diameter down to 1 pixel. And what we want to do is we want to, like we're scratching it. They're just sort of putting sort of random scratches in. Okay, one more. Alrighty then. Then we'll merge this down. And let's take our bottom layer, white layer here, and let's put a gradient over it. And I like this sort of greeny, mossy looking gradient. We'll sort of, you can see what's happening here. We're sort of ending up with sort of a grungy thing. But Sumo is really nice and gives us this tool that I just find so unique. Let's go ahead and merge these layers together. They give us this texturize tool, stylize, emboss. And you can see just what we did there. It sort of gives it sort of a grungy looking, almost metallic-y or metally look. But it just looks kind of weird. We can adjust the hue and saturation, bring down the color a little bit. We could bump up the saturation, but that doesn't look quite right. I actually kind of like it a little less saturated, but a little darker. There you have it. It's kind of a grungy looking background, and you can vary this by any of the brushes. Just use really light tones, and so that they aren't that predominant. And then when you make your background, it's just kind of like a texture. I've come up with slatey looking backgrounds, bark looking backgrounds, all sorts of stuff, just depending on the textures that I use. And okay, we'll finish this off a little bit. Let's go ahead and do another layer. And remember, you could do layers of grunge. I'm not going to for time's sake. I'm just going to put some grass in here. Let's bump up our opacity. Size, go to 3D brushes. Now I'm mumbling. Yay, aren't you happy? I'm such a mumbler. Let's take our gravity off, random rotate off, our rotation to 0. Okay, so I have like a little pot of grass. I like to make it bigger than it really should be. You can see I've kind of done some of these today. I've been working with, I like the grass tool. I mean, what else could make making grass so easy? Okay, adjustments, hue and saturation, colorize, kind of give it a grungy color. How's that? We will white layer, layer effects. Bevel, see what bevel does. Anything? Does it do anything I like? Yeah, it looks kind of good. I might turn that into more of a green color for the highlight though. Okay, and then layer effects, drop shadow, distance, give it a little bit, blur it up a little, opacity down just a little bit. Okay, so we have our grungy with some grass, and we will throw, I'll just do what I did earlier and throw a bug in there. Let's see. Add new layer. This one looks good. I like this ladybug, but the one thing that bugs me about him is that he's a little too shiny, so I think what I'm going to do is lower him below the grass. Oops. Select pixels, filters, noise, put some noise on him, see if it helps make him a little less perfect. Everything has to have a little drop shadow, so it looks a little bit more natural. And that's kind of good there, just kind of simple. We could actually, if we wanted to, duplicate this grass, copy layer effects, paste layer effects. And we'll take this second layer here and go ahead and shrink that down. Maybe not that far. Just so we have a little grass over there too. And there you have it, kind of just a basic grungy textured wall and some grass and a bug. Play with it, see what you can come up with for a grungy background or grungy anything or wall, whatever you want to do, and post a link to whatever you come up with to the comments on this picture. Thanks very much, enjoy.